Hello, Cherries. Good morning and welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 145. In today's video, I'm going to show you the A-shape chord of the CAGED system. And it's the A-shape A chord of the CAGED system. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll put a timestamp in the description for when we get started. But right now, I just want to say hello to a few of my friends here in the chat who are so cool to show up and hang out with me here for a little bit today. Give you a round of applause. Osman, good morning. Oh, Scott Olson. Give you a round of applause. Good morning, afternoon, yep. It's 1 minute into the afternoon here on the East Coast in Brooklyn, New York. Osman, my man. All right, so hopefully everything is going good. Hopefully you guys are all right. You're all tuned up, ready to jam on some guitar today, this morning. What are you drinking today? Chords. Well, I don't have the chords yet. No Miller Lite today, Paul? you changing things up a little bit? That's cool. I should do the same. I still have my coffee. Still have half of it, so been a busy morning. But I'm going to caffeine myself up here while you guys drink some chords. And congratulations, Paul. You know some good news, and that's very, very cool. And so yeah, this is cool. I mean, last week we did the C shape, which we jammed around in A. But the CAGED system is so cool because sometimes you're playing in A, right? I tend to just gravitate towards the A position right here. This pentatonic shape right here. Or if it's A major, I tend to be in the same spot. I'll do A around here. But there's other positions that I'm trying to get more comfortable playing around. Like, that's what's great about this CAGED system, is that it allows you to, it shows you a templates to play in 5 different positions. The C, the A, the G, the E, and the D shape positions. Today we're on the A. And Paul, ring was in my nose, and now it's on my finger. That is so cool. So, Paul, recently married, and hopefully you didn't give her that ring, the one that was on your finger. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not judging. You do whatever you like with that. I'll give you a round of applause for that. I've never had a nose ring. That'd be kind of weird. I don't know if I could handle that. Takes some getting used to, I suppose. Oh man. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to play in different positions. You're welcome, Paul. And so this A shape right here is A chord. What's the beauty of this CAGED system is you take this shape, this A, and you could slide it up anywhere you like. So if you land here, it's a D, right? I mean, it's hard to play it, to fret it like that. Get everything to ring out, right? So you can just bar it like this. So you don't have to hit that last note. See, but if you bring it all the way up here again, you have an A as well. So it's interesting that this is the A shape, but we're going to be in A because I have my backing track here that it's a shuffle, A shuffle. If you want to copy this backing track, just email me at info@jerrycherry, and I'll just shoot it right over to you. It's the same one I used last week. So the beauty of this A shape is that it really is an A. If you did the same thing here, it's a D chord, yeah, but it's an A shape because this is the A shape of the CAGED system. There's a C chord, but it's the A shape. Just like last week we did the C shape. Here's a C chord, but we did it up here. It's an A chord. It's just a way to visualize chords, because I knew this for years, but I never really knew that it was called the CAGED system. I just saw these shapes everywhere, and I knew that that was kind of an A, or even if it was up here, even if it was G. I knew by seeing this structure right here, the root, the fifth, the octave, and the third, even if it's a minor, you start to see the shapes, and it becomes like a template. And a lot of people, they have their favorite shapes. Like I was saying a minute ago, I gravitate towards this, right? This shape right here. Right about here. That's an E shape position, because look at this chord. Looks like an E. Just like here, an E. Like an E chord. But moved all the way up here, it's an A. I'm playing everything around this E shape. We'll get to the E, I guess, in a couple times. Couple weeks. Right now we're in the A. So, Michael, what's happening? So good to see you. All right, thanks for hanging out. We're doing some guitaring here. Give you some round of applause. And Paul, I play my A like a D shape. So you like the D shape one that's right here. The D shape right here. So it looks like a D chord. Like here's a D. You slide it all the way up here. A lot of people play the D like this. Slide this whole thing up, because here's the third on the bottom. Your thumb. But here's an A, so if you go, let's replace them. I'm not going to give you the bird. I'm not going to shoot you the bird. But this finger right here. So that's really the third of A. Here's the A chord. Just like if it was the D chord. Play up here. There's all kinds of licks you could do up here too. We're in A. So that's your favorite one, huh? That position? That's cool. We'll get to that. So we're at A. We have the G, then the E, then the D positions. It's never ending. So that's really cool. Is that the position that you play? It's a good one. I mean, I don't really tend to automatically go there when I think of A. I tend to think of that one more often. But that's all about the change. Doing good. Great to see you. Great to see you too, Mike. Hopefully I see you out there on one of the gigs sometime soon with your camera. Mike's a great photographer. He's taking lots of pictures of my disco band that I play in. I play bass in. It's called Disco Unlimited. So, always great work from Mike. Pack of the Blues. Hello. Peter here. What's happening, Peter? It's one of my favorite names. It's my grandfather's name, my nephew's name, Pete Townsend's name, and your name. Very, very cool, Peter. Good to see you. So, I gotta hydrate up a little bit. Speaking of DU, this is my Disco Unlimited mug. Or not mug, what do you call this? A thermos? And I am Wild Jerry in the band. That's my nickname, Wild Jerry. And we're not lying either. I get pretty wild. I think it's important, get a little wild when you're performing live, right? Get a little nuts, a little crazy out there, right? You only live once, might as well give it all. Give it all you got. And all right, so Now, the cool thing about this too is we have two A's. We have the A down here, we have the A up here. And what's really, really cool about this is that, you know, you're not learning these licks up here for nothing. Just like you learn these licks over here. You can do it anywhere. Say if you're in C, or say if you're in F. And it's the same licks. I'm just playing them in different keys. But I don't want to be stuck on just having to do that position. Do the same thing in A, where you play licks in this position, and now you know them everywhere. A, or if I did it in D flat. Right? October 21st. In Brooklyn, that's right. I think that's a Halloween show at Castellano, some like really nice, cool Italian restaurant slash bakery slash venue. And it's a Halloween show. Really, really delicious place. Especially if you're a sweet tooth like me. So, okay. So here in the A position, and I'm going to show you some licks in this position. So you could play the all your scales in this position right here. You have your A pentatonic, and the great thing about this is that you know, there are 5 shapes to the pentatonic scale. With this CAGED system, they all line up as well. So, you know, while you're in this position, this is the 4th position of the pentatonic, major pentatonic. The 5 notes. I'll show you here on the big screen. Check it out. A major pentatonic. The whole thing, from top to bottom, looks like this. It's pretty cool because it's symmetrical. You can see it's 2 right here. The E and the A string, it's just the 10th fret to the 12th. The A, 10 to 12. And then on the D and the G string, it's 9 to 12. And on the B and the E string, it's back to 10 to 12, or 12 to 14. Sorry. 12 to 14 on the A and on the E and the A string. And then 11 to 14, 11, 14, 12. I thought this was 10 for some stupid reason. So, not only do you have that A chord right here, but you have that really cool pentatonic shape. I mean, you can only really do that lick in a major pentatonic because you have the root. Okay, so you have pentatonic right here. Continue up. You could take that major third, you could mess around with it. You could take the half step down and bend it up. Give a little bit of a bluesy vibe. So, I have this backing track right here. Let's play along with it a little bit. all kinds of cool licks that you could do over that. Some of my favorite licks I'll show you is you got the A pentatonic right here. It's taking this over the blues. I like to always look at scales in intervals, intervalactically. So here's the A, the root, the third. So it's a 1-3-5 triad. You take this note on the 13th fret and bend it up to the major note. So you have a hitting the 5th, then the minor third into the 3rd. Listen how it sounds. Cool, huh? Same thing here. Hold the 6th. That's one of my favorite licks from that position, right there. Is that lick. But remember, I started playing some of the minor 7ths in there and got a little ahead of myself because really the pentatonic scale is just the root, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 5th, and the major 6th. So I'm trying to limit myself to just these scales. So if you're enjoying this video so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Any questions about any of this stuff, please let me know. If there's any licks that I'm missing out on here that I'm going to focus more on. So we have I love that one too, where you're hitting the A note. It's a pretty cool one too. Just playing the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. Going from the 1, 2, 3. Listen. All major pentatonic. So, all right. One thing to really remember here is that the most important thing to do is just like relax always when you're playing. You know, keep your hands as relaxed and don't tense up. And number 2, when you hit a note, Just kind of give it some vibrato. When you bend a note, don't ever be lazy with your bends. I've been playing guitar for such a long time, and every now and then I'll get lazy with the bends, and it's so obvious when you get lazy with the bends. I don't care if you're Eric Clapton or Slash or Jeff Beck or Eddie Van Halen or Jimmy Page. If they're not bending perfectly, you know it. You know it. I mean, I know it. And you know, I played a show Friday night, and I probably had one of the worst shows in a long time. It was with a 80s band I play with sometimes called White Wedding, and it just wasn't a good night for me. Like, I just messed up a lot on a lot of solos that I just normally play very simply. Sometimes we're steamrolled, you know. It's like when things go wrong, they just kind of go wrong, and it's all my fault, you know. It just happens sometimes, and I look back on it, and I realize that a lot of it is focus. Get a little bit lazy. You forget how important certain things are, because, you know. And then there's always a bunch of people out there with their cameras recording it, and it always shows up somewhere on social media and YouTube somewhere. All the bad notes, some of the good ones, especially the bad ones. And what I hate the most about some of those bad ones, like, is that I'm taking a note and it's a bend that I just didn't quite get right. Like if it's in this case, just an A note. Get it to that A. It's so important. It's way more important than you might even realize. Because if we'll watch this tape back later, obviously this is forever, this is live. But I can watch this back, and I know that I'm getting it. If I was lazy, I would go something a little bit flat right here. Hear that? Or sharp? That doesn't sound good either. You want to go. Every time. So important to not be lazy and to do that. So if you're getting any value out of this, please hit the like button. Let me know. Any questions about any of this stuff? Let me know. Just try to focus every time and not be lazy on that aspect of it. Vibrato as well. Give it a little shake. It sounds so much better when you do that. So let's go to the next scale you can do here. Instead of do the minor pentatonic. Which is my favorite scale right there, right? Say that you're in the 4th position now of A minor pentatonic. Yeah, you could play down here. But you could also do it up here. Excuse me. And you could play the blues scale as well. Sounds like AC/DC. Check this out. A little AC/DC sounding thing. Oh. A little AC/DC in the house. Bon Scott. Some of the A chord shape solos. play the A chord solos. Oh, and Osman wants to know if that's a new guitar rack. Yes, it is. Oh, that was weird. It must be the heat because I have the air off and I'm sweating. And that's okay. Because rock and roll ain't pretty. But my new guitar stand is pretty. I don't know what took me so long to get one of those 5-way stands. I used to have 5 single stands all over here, and I have to move them every second. But I'm digging it. Yeah, thanks for noticing that. It's the best thing I've ever bought in my life was that 5-way guitar stand. I just got it like last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, thanks, Osman, for noticing that. It's pretty affordable too. Got it at GC, Guitar Center. Peck of the Blues. Peter, about being lazy, I easily use the G shape, G flat minor, giving A major to what comes to, I guess. To what comes later. Yeah, the G shape. I can't wait to get to that. That's going to be next week. If we do this series of this CAGED system thing, next week would be the G shape, and that's a fun shape to play in. The G shape, G flat minor one, really? So it's like the G shape, G flat minor. So kind of like G flat. You mean something like that? G flat. Yeah. See, guitar players could play in flat key, could be flat, but singers don't want to be flat. That didn't make any sense. There's a joke in there somewhere. Dutchman, what's up from Delaware? All right, we're doing some guitaring. Thanks for tuning in from Delaware. Not too far from New York, up on the east coast here, right across from Jersey. Take the Jersey Turnpike. I've gone to Delaware by accident before. I'm sorry. But how did I wind up in Delaware? Well, it was an accident. I drove too far in the Jersey Turnpike. And I was like, Delaware? Okay. What's the best? Okay, we'll get to that. We have a lesson we have to focus on a little bit first. I miss the most the bakeries and pizza place. We're here in New York? Yeah. Well, next time you're here, you better come say hello. We'll hang out for sure. For sure. So, minor pentatonic position, right inside here too. The 4th position. And once again, I like to do the same lick right here in the blues. I'll show you in the close-up. The same lick here. Do this riff right here. Just look at this shape. And it's almost like just kind of, it's a puzzle. You try to land on the chord tones here. The A. Now, this shuffle is really just it could be minor or major. I'm just playing I'm not even really emphasizing the third, but it feels like a major third to me. So if you're going to play the minor pentatonic, you're going to have to take that note and bend it up a little bit. The third, which is the C note here. Because on an A chord, here it's a C. It's a C sharp, not a C minor, which is a C. So here's the C. Wow, hear that difference of tuning? Listen to the C note. Weird. So bend it up a little bit. So what's up here? Same thing here. That's the sound of the blues. You could also take the seventh note, which is the G note, and bend that up a little bit. It's a micro bend. Listen. Overdrive there, huh? Into the bends. Yeah. We're having some fun here. Looks like what they call BB King box. I think the BB King box is actually more in this shape, the E shape, which we'll get to around here. Into this shape up here, which is the D shape, which we were talking about earlier, the D shape. I think this is the BB box right here. You know what I mean? Not that I can play anything like BB, but here's the BB box. Back up to here, where we are. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good. Thanks for pointing that out, though. Oh, man, BB box. What a great box to play in. Like a what am I like a cat? BB is a cat. He's a cool cat. Was a cool cat. The best. The king. Ritesh! Give you a round of applause. I don't know if I've seen you already today. How about you just popping in? Oh, it's good to see you, my man. Give you a round of applause. In case I missed anybody, come back. Say hello. What's this question? Besides, hey Jerry, what are things? I'm assuming what are things I like to do besides music? Well, I'm a big Steelers fan. Hope I'm not turning anybody off by saying that. And I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm a Steelers fan. Pittsburgh Steelers. And football starts next week. And that's the rest of my life. I'll be focusing on that. No, I mean, I like the Steelers. I grew up loving them. And ever since I was ever since I could see and I could walk, I've loved the Steelers. So I like that. Really just playing and performing music. I just said besides music. There's nothing. I don't do anything besides music. I watch football. I do this stuff, content creation, like making videos and about music. I'm starting to wonder if there's what's wrong with me? There's nothing else I like besides music. Nothing else I do. I should be better than if that's all I do. Jeez. So good question though. I gotta think about that. Maybe I gotta find some other things to do. I like to walk. I live right next to a park, Prospect Park in Brooklyn, and I go to the park all the time. I walk around, clear my mind, think about music. Oh my God, everything's related to music. Besides music, I like to travel around New York and look for all the music stores. Okay. Besides music. What do I like to do besides music? I'll go online and I'll search around YouTube for, different stuff, mostly about music. I'm just being silly now. But you get the idea. Paul is a Saints fan. Oh, okay. Saints. They got a new quarterback now. Derek Carr is now with them, right? From the Raiders. What's that? Solid quarterback. They should be pretty good this year. Some high hopes. They've always been solid. And they got a new coach, too. His name's Sean something. He had left. Maybe last year he left. I'm being silly. What else are you going to do on Sunday? So music. Yeah, besides music, I like music. I know, it's got to be something that I like besides music. Girls. Okay, there we go. I like to hang out with girls and listen to music. There we go. Roll Tide. Let's talk about the Crimson Tide. Oh, you're from Alabama. Alabama Crimson Tide. They say Alabama's Crimson Tide. Deacon Blues, Steely Dan. Great band. One of my favorite bands of all time, Steely Dan. All right, so we're moving along here. We got some more to cover here. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, and it's like we got to the fun ones. But, you can play the major scale right in this position, too. See, little things like that, too. They really kind of stick out when I watch these videos back. Little, flubs like that I go, ooh. Because I get lazy. It's like, oops, wrong note. So I'm doing from top to bottom, the A major scale, starting on the lowest note, which is the D note here. Now I'm on the A. Because why not? You might want to... Now really, this is kind of like a 3-note per string D scale. If you look at this D, Lydian. It's the 4 chord of D, which is kind of good to know, if even in this, this instance where we're playing here. But really, it's just all about the major scale here. Knowing it all in this position, so you could play it in this thing. bend up to the root. Kind of a cool lick right there. Over a major. I'm bending the 6th degree to the 7th. And then I'm fretting this note, which is an A. It's kind of like this. But I'm bending. I blended a little pentatonic blues in there at the end of it. But really, it's just a major scale. But I'm kind of targeting the target tones of that major scale as well. I'm not landing on the 4th. I'm not hanging on that note. I'm hanging on the major 3rd. I'm not hanging on the 6th. I'm kind of going to the 5. I'm not really hanging on the 2nd. I'm resolving. You could take these in-between notes of the scale to lead you to another chord tone. Kind of like this. Now we got a little bit more to go. Oh, we got some questions here that I missed. Spend a second here. And got a big win. Crimson Tide won 56-7. I don't understand how some of this college teams just get so beat up on. It's like kind of like wrestling, you know, when they put like the real champion against some me, you know. and they just beat up all over him. It's kind of comical. Until, there's some good games though. But there's some games where just like, how is this even happening? Don't beat yourself up. It happens to all of us. Yeah, it does. And, I kind of like when it happens. It's kind of a reminder. It's kind of like, when you walk and like you kick your toe, or you don't break it, but like you do something that's like, ow, so stupid. But to me, it's like it's a warning for something bigger that could happen if you don't pay attention. So it's the same thing in music. You have a bad night. If I didn't care, I think it would be worse. If I didn't care, it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't help me. So I try to use it. I try to think to myself, and I feel bad. I really do for like all day that day. When I came home, and it was really, it's tough. You're sitting, it's kind of like a loss, like a team. If your team loses, you got to sit with it for a week and dwell on it. And you got to get over it quick, though. You got to have amnesia, like, you know what I mean? So to speak. But yeah, I felt pretty bad for it. I still do. But you learn, I try to learn from it. So no matter what, because you're live, you're in certain situations. I'm not making excuses. There's a million excuses you can make. You could blame people. You could blame I was blaming my guitar. I was upset at my guitar when I got home. Guitar had nothing to do with it. Equipment has nothing to do with it. It's you, completely yourself. You get in your own mind, in your own head, and sometimes you've really got to work for it. Sometimes it's very easy. You could do anything out there. I feel like you could do anything. And sometimes it's like every note is a struggle. And that night, every note was a struggle. And I just felt like every solo that came up, even the easy ones, the ones that I've played all my life, I flubbed a little bit on. And it was one of those where it's like, you know what? In that case, sometimes you just got to like really just kind of let go and just kind of play. Just kind of focus on some of the basics and the essentials. And that's why I focus a lot on the basics and essentials, because you could live on just that. Which reminds me, I could mention real quick about my essentials guitar course here. And I'll just give you a little preview of it. It's called the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. And what a great segue, right? And I focus on 3 topics, which is fretboard memorization, to kind of memorize where all the notes are really simply. And then I go into the circle of fifths, which is that circle thing that looks kind of like a pizza or a steering wheel. Oh, now I'm getting hungry. But in there lies all of music. All the progressions, 1, 4, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. It's all in there, and it all makes sense when you start to look at that and see how it works. And then last but not least, the blues. And that's where I go into like blues progressions, bending notes, vibrato, things like that. So if you're interested in this course, check out the link. I'll put it in my description. You can check that out. And there's all kinds of backing tracks and scale charts and stuff in there. So worked pretty hard on that. So let's see, Lions. Someone's a Detroit Lions fan. Wait, Lions. They're not playing yet till next week, so must be college. Unless you're talking about preseason, and they're doing good. They're looking good. College. Good high expectations for them. Finally, right? Wow, some of these comments here. Let's see if I could see. What was the thing about music theory that initiated you to want to learn more about theory? I think it was more about just trying to learn how to play. And I picked it up from learning theory. I wanted to understand what was going on. I hear some great players. Instead of just, copying them, I kind of wanted to know. I was, when I was 17, I took some lessons from Wesley B. Wright, who was original guitar player for Miami Sound Machine in South Florida. And he showed me some modes and stuff. And I just was always interested. And the way my brain works is, I guess, what would it be? The right side of my mind, is, I guess, is the more intellectual part, and the left side is more of the creative part, right? I think, unless I got it backwards. So, maybe it's an even balance where some people are left and some people are more right-brained. I guess I like to I could see theory, and I could use a lot of theory to inspire the left side of my mind, and come up with like theoretical things. Like there's things that you would never ever try unless you were learning theory, and you stumble across some cool sounds. Like, wow, that sounds good. I never would have did that if I was just playing by ear. I might have heard it and then figured out what it was, but then you could say, okay, well that's a that chord, and it's kind of like a vocabulary. It's like now that you know what makes that sound, you could translate it anywhere. And that's one of the cool things about theory, is that it is useful and it's completely unnecessary. Like you don't need any of it, but it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. Why not? It helps me for sure. There's so many reasons why I think theory is important. If you're learning a bunch of tunes really quick, and like the common progressions between all of them. I mean, there's so many you could learn a set of 90s tunes, 30 songs, and 60% of them are going to have the same chord progression. I'm not joking with you. It's all the same, So, oh yeah, that's right. Originally from Brooklyn. Duh. Brooklyn. I'm originally from Brooklyn too. East New York, and then I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. So, was Mr. Big huge band? Was Mr. Big a huge band in its prime? Yeah, they were huge. I was a big fan of Paul Gilbert. For sure, I love Billy Sheehan. I love the singer. I thought the whole band was good. I was never a huge, crazy fan of their music, but I appreciate it. Definitely enjoyed them. I love Paul Gilbert. And would be in Prospect Park almost every weekend. Yeah, I'm there every day. I love that you're playing G, D on an A. I love that you're playing G, D, and an A on the guitar. Are you starting to get like AC/DC? It is like AC/DC. I've been watching a lot of AC/DC videos lately. A lot of it's popped up. I love that band. My first real favorite band. So simple. Really, really simple. I love watching it now. I'm older, watching backstage video of them, in their prime, get ready to go on stage. And it's like, God, I was 11 years old when they were doing that. And they just looked like normal guys, ready to hit the stage, and they're out there just playing. I don't want to get any copyright claims here on this, but doing their AC/DC thing. How many times did you play drunk like some of those Slash? Well, I'll tell you what, I did. Sweet Child of Mine was the song that we did play Fridays, 80s, so, and that's usually one of my good ones. I did okay on that. Usually I kill it. I'm trying to be a little humble here with that, but I've been playing that for a while, and I'm pretty good at that one. And I had to really focus because I had already bombed a couple solos before that. And I'm thinking, this one I don't want to bomb. So it was one of those where you're just nothing feels right. It's like my guitar neck felt like ice, no sustain. And it was just what can I do here? Just praying. I'm willing it to come out. And I did my best, and it was okay, I suppose. But we learn from that, learn and grow. But I don't really play drunk too much. Now, we've had some late night jams in bars where it was for fun. We go up and have jam sessions and stuff, and that's another thing. But when I perform with my working bands, last thing I want to do is get drunk. I think I'll have a beer throughout the whole night of the show. Sorry, it disappoints. So, let's see. The extensions of the pentatonic. Right? Care wasn't good in Vegas. Who's Care? Carr wasn't good in Vegas. Which Carr are you talking about? Carr wasn't good in Vegas? And the only Carr I know is Eric Carr. Rest in peace. Drummer of Kiss. So, we could chat a little bit more, but let me go ahead and go. There's a couple more of these things I want to do in the A position. We got the A major scale, right? We did the pentatonic, A major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, blues scale. We did the major scale. Mixolydian is a great mode to play right through here as well. That's the flat seventh. So this is a really, really great, it's the shell scale basically of the A7 chord. And really, really great one to know. Has that flat 7, just like the blues scale does. But also it's a major. Has the second degree, the 1, 2, 3. It's basically a major scale. But the 7th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we flat it. So that's a really cool scale right there. We can or just invert it to a tritone substitution. That's weird. Why am I going there? So, trying to stay focused on a really, really cool scale to learn. And of course, I didn't bring it down to this A shape. All this stuff that we're doing up here, try to convert it down here as well. Minor pentatonic, major scale, all the same things. You have to do it in both shapes of the A and A here. So, hopefully you're enjoying this. So far we're rocking. If you are, hit that like button, subscribe. We've got a couple more minutes. We're going over. But 2 more real quick things to show you. Here is the arpeggios. Major arpeggios. You got the 5th, the major 7th. Let's go over here too. This is really good to know because this is like the shell of the major 7 chord. 5th, major 7th, the A root note. The 3rd, the 5th, major 7th, root again. Sound, you hear the sounds? It's exactly the same. 5th, 7th. You play that over here, over this progression. Any one of these notes you can land on. It's an arpeggio, they're all chord tones. Just gotta make sure you give it vibrato. Interesting to go from major 7 to blues scale. And one last one, the dominant arpeggio scale. We'll wrap it up with that one. Thank you, Paul. Ritesh, do you have Guitar Center near you? Some people have great obsession going to Guitar Center very often. Well, I have one. It's in Union Square. It's the closest one. Actually, the closest one, I have one that I never really go to. It's on Atlantic Center, Barclay Center, which is in Brooklyn. I tend to go to the one in Union Square, though, for some reason. I don't have an obsession with that. Actually, personally, I like Sam Ash a little bit better. They're on 34th Street, Sam Ash. I don't know why. They're both good. They're both the same stuff. I think the Sam Ash one's a little bit more put together. I hate when you walk into guitar stores and just like there's dead sections everywhere. You know, I did work in music stores for a while, and but I just think, you know, sometimes you walk into a guitar store like that and there's sections there where it's like totally neglected. You know, it could be like something really cool going on there. I don't know, they're not really thinking like for true musicians' needs, I think. What's wrong with them people? So, all right, Pekka Blues. Thanks, Jerry, for inspiring. Thank you. That means a lot. You know, if I could just be a little inspiring, I appreciate that. So let's finish it up. We're going a little bit longer, but we'll do this last scale here. It's just the dominant 7th arpeggio. I'm taking that. It's just like the Mixolydian mode. Taking the 7th degree. Let's like this. So you got the 5th, the 7th. Now, any one of these notes you can land on. That's the beauty. I can even go chromatically to it. rocked. We rolled. We had some fun today. Hopefully you did too. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I think we went over pretty much everything we wanted to today. Are you allowed to play the shred section of Sweet Child? No, but there's one lick that's really cool. I could play, like, you know, it's like a, it's kind of like it goes kicks on the front pickup, you know. So that part's always my favorite part. I love that. The use of harmonic minor inside there. So, all right, guys. I did a solo. I broke down how to play that solo. You can check that out. I'll put a link in the description to find that tutorial on that. So, all right, guys. We went over a bit, but thank you very much for hanging out with me. I love it that you guys spend time here with me on Sundays. It really is awesome. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You know, once again, if you have any ideas, you know, let me know for future lessons. I know sometimes I don't do those ideas, and I write them down, and I'll definitely get to those, you know, as far as my pet stuff, like, you know, pedal board operation and things like that, order of pedals. I remember all that stuff. So thank you, Paul, for hanging out. Very cool. Ritesh and Ozman, Pekka Blues. You guitar players rock. I love it. I love Sundays hanging out with you guys here. Thank you so much, Ozman and John Lasisco. Very, very cool of you to show up and hang out here with me. Sorry if I missed anybody. I apologize for that. Scott Olson, you are the best, my man. And Dutchman from Delaware. One from Delaware? Yeah, Dutchman from Delaware. Peter, Pekka Blues, and Mike. All you guys, just awesome for hanging out. I appreciate it. So, keep those comments coming. Keep those guitar licks. Keep those guitars warm. If you have any questions about any stuff, please reach out anytime. I think I'm here at the bottom of the chat section here. Yeah. All right. GDA. You're saying GDA. Yeah, I like that too. It's basically utilizing the A as a 5 chord, going to G as like a 4 chord underneath the A, and D as a 1 chord on top of. That really shows the Mixolydian sound. And AC/DC was the best at that. And he would play A, he'd go. I think this was my favorite. That's a really good progression. The A, drone with a G, D on top of it. Really cool. Derek Carr. All right, there you go. Carr. Yeah, good QB. Sure, I like him. No doubt. So, all right, guys. Remember, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. If you want to see another video that I did last week on the CAGED system on the C shape A chord, I'll put a video right up there. Until next time, peace. Love you guys and gals. I'll see you next time. Keep in touch, and have a great Sunday and a great weekend. Love yous. Bye.